I just got finished Resin 3D printing some alternate heads for my McFarlane 7-inch figures. First one here is a replacement head for Warhammer 40K Space Marine, and this is a Christopher Reeve Superman head sculpt. And because I like Space Marine so much, here's another Space Marine head. I printed all three of these heads using files that I found on Thingiverse, and I'll leave a link down in the description. And the resin that I used is the Conjure Rigid Resin, which is a resin that's mainly used for engineering and prototyping and things like that. But I already had it in the vat, so that's why I decided to use it. Everything printed perfectly on the first try with a normal layer exposure time of 3 seconds and a bottom layer exposure time of 35 seconds. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take the head off of this particular Superman figure and see how well the Christopher Reeve Superman head fits on him. So I've already popped the head off of Superman, and here is the replacement head. And even though it doesn't have that blue peg, you actually don't need it because it just fits right over the neck, and it's a nice snug fit. Take a look at them nice and close. You know, I gotta say they did a good job at scaling this head and modeling it. Look at that. It is a really, really good fit. And out of all the Superman figures that I have, I thought that this particular body mold would be the best one to complement Christopher Reeve. He really does look good, and you can, of course, take this head, prime it, and paint it up, and I think it'll look great on this body. Now let's take a look at the Space Marine heads. So this is a McFarlane Ultramarine figure that I'm just starting to try to alter just a little bit as far as paint goes, but now I can just take the head off, and it's kind of in there good. There we go. Pop the head off, see that the peg is still attached to the head, and let me grab this sort of Roman Empire inspired head and just pop this on. There we go. And there you see, it's on there good. Take a close look at them. I know that since it's black, it's a little bit harder to see, but I will prime these. But this is also a good fit for this Ultramarine. And you can still move the head left and right, and you can still do all that stuff. You can still have his head move up a little bit, still have it move down. Oh, it popped off. So you just gotta get it in there good, but you got the very basic range of motion with this guy. All right, so he's looking pretty good. I got another head as well, want to try on him. Let's go for this head. So this head here is not staying on as well as the first one did. So it's kind of one of those things, like, as so long as you don't move it, it's not going to come off. But it's really pretty recessed down into that armor there. So this one is not a very snug fit like the other one was, but it still does fit. If you take the peg and you put the peg in here, then it'll be a much more secure fit. But if you're just trying to do it fresh off of the printer, this is what you're going to have to deal with. But like I said, the other head fits on a lot more tightly. But this looks really good. I'm really happy with how these turned out overall. I'm not going to be painting anything in this video. I really just wanted to show you what the fit was going to be like with these alternate heads. And I'm really happy with how they turned out, particularly with this Christopher Reeve head and the first Space Marine helmet that doesn't need a peg in order to sit nice and tight. But one thing that I do want to point out with the Superman head is because it doesn't have that peg inside of it, you do lose some motion when it comes to articulation. You can kind of move his head to the left and to the right slightly and move it up and down slightly, but you have to sort of be careful because, you know, the whole thing is just going to come off if you push it a little bit too far. But just kind of, especially with that dead on look, it looks really awesome, and I like that. And this is also cool for me because this is the first time that I've used Resin 3D printing to complement an existing figure. Usually it's just printing something brand new, something that stands alone, that really doesn't work with anything else that I have in my collection. But now that I found these different parts, I'm interested in looking for other creators, either free or paid, that also spend their time to create accessories for existing action figures that we can print and get a good kick out of it. Alternate heads are great, but there's also accessories out there for like weapons and things like that. So this just kind of shows that resin 3D printing can be used in conjunction with your existing plastic collection. You just have to be fortunate enough to find a creator that knows how to make the objects that you can print for your figures, or if you're talented enough or if you're curious enough, maybe you can design them and print them out yourself. So once again, I'm going to leave links in the description to where you can find the model heads that I printed out, and then you can try them for yourself, prime them and paint them, and then add them to your existing action figure collection. So thank you all so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, and I'll really appreciate you for it. So until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll speak to you soon.